I'm going to tell you a story. It's a new story about Santy. The time
And it's
I
3 days before Christmas.
right now, I wanted an army tank. I was about 7 or 8 off Santy, and poor old mammy couldn't afford it. And it was the best army tank. It was in Pettits and Gorey. And I used to go and I used to look at it and I used to touch it and all that, but I could never. Mammy couldn't afford it. But I wrote down a made list because I wanted Santy to get it for me. But sure, do you know yourselves that Santy? I'd ask him for it. So Christmas came anyway, and in Nanny's house, the girls were up in Jenny's room. I used to sleep in Ben's room. That was a close room to sitting room, and Mammy and Daddy were up in their room. And I was asleep. I used to sleep in Ben's room, and my bed was over where Ben's bed was. The room wasn't as busy like the way Ben has. It was tidy out, right? And we used to all go to bed around. I was late enough. Could be 10, 11 o'clock. And we'd all be tired and all nervous, wanting to see Santy. So I know you'd be kind of wanting Santy to come, and you'd be in the bed and you'd be all kind of wanting to go to sleep, but you can't go to sleep and you want to stay awake.
And sometimes you might wake up to a half. Sometimes you might get out of bed and then you say, I can't. Then you happen to bed and then you say, then you might get out and then you actually whack out up and you actually might see something.
Well, if you listen now, what happened to me was, I woke up, I kind of fell asleep, and everyone else must fell asleep. And it was around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just woke up. I got what? My eyes just woke up, and I said, I heard noise. I said, no, I couldn't hear noise, and there was noise coming up from the roof, up from the house. And I said, no, it can't be Santy, go and fall asleep. And the noise was there, and I kept getting louder. And Anne and them didn't wake up. And I had a little old watch, and I noticed when my watch said it was something like 10 to 3. So I got out of bed, and I tiptoed across the floor, and I opened the door, and I went out into the hallway, and I opened the door into the hallway, and I looked down onto the sofa, and here was Santy on the sofa, fast asleep.
So loud. Why didn't animal hear them? Because it would be loud snoring.
Alright, so I went down and I just stood there, and I literally just stood there, and the reindeers in the roof were making more and more noise. And I said to myself, this lad's after falling asleep. He's black tired. Because to be fair now, he wouldn't be that tired because he's going around the whole world. So he was absolutely wrecked, just like. And I noticed he had bags of toys and stuff, and I noticed that obviously straight away that I noticed there was no tank for me that I wanted, but listen, sure, I wasn't too upset. And I said, what am I going to do? And I said, we'll go up to tell Nanny the girls are going to wake up, they're going to come down. And if they all come down, your man's going to see us, and he's going to take away the presents because we're not supposed to see Santy. And if I didn't wake him up, all the rest of the boys and girls around the world won't get their toys, because why?
You wouldn't be able to go around to their house.
Yeah, exactly. Your man is missed the boat. So I was caught with that dilemma, and I said, just I better do something. And the rangers up on the roof now, they were causing trouble as well, and Dickie's tiles. And I said, I went up to your man, I touched him on the shoulder like that. Just gently, like that, yeah. I know when you touch someone gently when they're asleep and they're kind of going, yeah. So, again I went, what's wrong? Jesus. I said, no, he was dozing in his sleep. Here's me, Santy, wake up. And I grabbed him and I started to shake him. So, tell you one thing I knew that I could do was, these little whiskers on his beard.
Yeah.
And I know they'd be real sharp, right? So I grabbed one whisker and I gave it a pull. Ow! He woke up me so. He looked and he wiped his faces, and I said, and he's kind of he was in a bit of a shock. And I said, relax. I said, relax. I said, oh, go back to bed. Go back to bed, he says to me. And I says, you're fast asleep. Oh, go back to bed. And I said, well, you stop. You're into waking up. Relax, you're tired. I said, oh, yes, I am a bit tired, he says. said, yeah, you're right tired. And he said, yeah, your name. And he looked then, you could see my name written on the thing. It was always Mick, isn't it? I said, yeah, that's me, yeah. And they said, you're really good. And I said, listen, Santy, will you stop doing the old shy talk, will you? I said, you have to fall asleep there now. You're probably going to be behind time if we don't get you sorted. And he said, I'll be honest with you. He said, I'm wrecked. He said, I've been so busy leading up to Christmas with getting the sleigh ready. And I said, no bother. I said, tell you what. He said, what you need is a nice cup of coffee and maybe a bit of some date. I said, yeah. I said, well, not going too much, he says, because I'd fall asleep. I said, right. So I took the kettle on anyway and made him a cup of coffee. And I knew Nellie had rashers and sausage and all as well. So I fried up the sausages and the rashers, and just so I was good at doing that. Give him some nice bread, brought it out to him, and he said, "Just that's brilliant." I said, "You better hurry up now, because you're going to be late now getting around all the rest of the place. It's the sunrise in other parts of the country soon." He says, "Yeah, I know." He says, "I know." I said, "About reindeers up there on the roof, we're getting a bit anxious as well." I said, "No bother." I said, "Listen, thanks a million for waking me up, and thanks for the coffee and a bit of food." He said, "I'm just black tired." I said, "No bother." He said, "No bother at all." I said, "Are you happy with your stuff?" And I looked over and I said, yeah, I am. I said, "Oh, you're not happy then?" He said, "Well, I wrote you a letter there and I said that I wanted a big army tank, but," he said, "poor old mammy probably didn't have the money," I said, "to buy it. So," I said, "I'm happy with whatever you give me." And he goes, "Well, she might have sent me the money, but you've saved my life here now." And I said, "Hang on there a second." So he disappeared anyway. I think he was out the chimney or out the window, up onto the roof, heard the rattle, and he came back down. He says, "I always have spare presents." I said, "This is for you." He said, "It's a tank." And it was a remote control tank, the one that I wanted. And I said, "You sure?" I said, "No bother." I said, "But you have to leave it there until the morning now." And he said, You go back to bed now and you get a good night's sleep, and when your sisters wake up, you won't remember any of this story," he says. And I said, "I won't. You'll never remember the story for the rest of your life." And he sprinkled a kind of a dust in my eyes, and I just kind of went into a daze. And but next morning, I was so stubborn, I was able to remember it, but I wouldn't tell Anne or anyone. And I went down and I got my remote control tank. And poor old Nellie said to me, "Oh, Mick, I'm so happy that Santy was able to get your remote control tank. I'm so happy. I was upset he didn't get it otherwise." And yeah, it was the best day ever. We had loads of everything. And Santy got around to all the rest of the boys and girls. I saw Santy and fell asleep on our sofa. That's a true story. I'm tired myself now, lads. Night, lads.